Ever wondered why December 29th holds significance in the history books? Well, hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to embark on a historical journey, unwrapping the hidden gems tucked away on this particular date. Imagine for a moment a time capsule buried deep beneath the surface of time, waiting to reveal its treasures. That's exactly what December 29th is. A treasure trove of historical events, each one a jewel gleaming with stories of human triumph, tragedy, and transformation. From the ancient to the modern, this date has been a silent witness to pivotal moments that have shaped the course of human history. Be it the Visigoths storming Rome in 410 AD, marking a decisive turning point in the decline of the Roman Empire, or Viking king Harald Hardrada, landing in England in 1066, only to meet a not-so-glorious end in battle. Fast forward to the Enlightenment Era, and we find the birth of one of the greatest minds in history, Isaac Newton, born on this day in 1642. His groundbreaking discoveries still resonate in the halls of science, his legacy etched in the stars. But history is not always about glory and grandeur. On December 29, 1835, a dark chapter unfolded in American history with the Treaty of New Echota, forcing the Cherokee Nation to embark on the sorrow-filled Trail of Tears. And let's not forget the dramatic collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991, marking the end of the Cold War era and reshaping the global landscape. Each event, a ripple in the ocean of time, leaving its mark on the shores of the present. So, are you ready to jump into the time machine and delve into the past, to uncover the layers of December 29th, to understand how these events have shaped our world, our identities, our stories? Well then, buckle up, because we're about to embark on a journey through time, exploring the rich tapestry of history, one thread at a time. Ready to jump into the time machine and explore? Let's delve into the past. Our first stop takes us back to 410 AD in the heart of the Roman Empire. Picture this, the once invincible city of Rome, the beacon of civilization, under siege. On this very date, the Visigoths, a tribe of ferocious Germanic warriors, led by their king Alaric, stormed the city gates. The sack of Rome marked a significant turning point in history, signaling the beginning of the end for the Roman Empire. Now, you might be wondering, how could a tribe of warriors breach the fortified walls of Rome? The answer lies in their leader, Alaric, a man known for his military prowess, strategic brilliance, and an insatiable drive for power. The sacking of Rome wasn't just a display of brute force, but a calculated move by Alaric, who capitalized on the internal strife and weakened defenses of the Roman Empire. But let's not be too hard on Rome. Despite the devastation, one iconic structure remained largely unscathed: the Colosseum. Yes, even the Visigoths in all their destructive fervor couldn't bring themselves to demolish this architectural marvel. I suppose there's a lesson in there about the enduring power of good architecture. Now fasten your seatbelts as we leapfrog over 1,000 years to another December 29th, this one in 1066. The location? England. The main character? Viking King Harald Hardrada. With a nickname translating to Hard Ruler, you can bet he wasn't there for a friendly visit. On this day, Hardrada landed on English soil, marking the beginning of his ambitious, and ultimately fatal, bid for the English throne. His campaign, however, met a swift and brutal end at the Battle of Stamford Bridge. In a twist of tragic irony, Hardrada, the feared Viking warrior, met his end not in a blaze of glory, but with an arrow to the throat. Thus, on the same date, over 6 centuries apart, we witness the fall of the Roman Empire and the thwarted ambitions of a Viking king. Two monumental events, forever etched into the annals of history, that remind us of the unpredictable, often brutal nature of power. From barbarian invasions to Viking conquests, December 29th was indeed a day of mayhem in ancient and medieval times. But as we will see, this date has also been a stage for enlightenment, discovery, and progress. So stay tuned as we continue our journey through time, unwrapping history's hidden gems. Fast forward to 1642, a pivotal year in the world of science. On December 29th of this year, a child was born who would grow up to redefine our understanding of the universe. This child was none other than the renowned scientist and mathematician, Sir Isaac Newton. Newton's birth in the small English hamlet of Woolsthorpe may have been humble, but his contributions to science were anything but. As a young man, Newton attended the University of Cambridge, where he developed a keen interest in mathematics, physics, and astronomy. One of Newton's most significant contributions was his development of the 3 laws of motion. These laws, which are still taught in schools today, provide a foundation for classical mechanics, They explain how objects move and why they behave the way they do when forces act upon them. But Newton didn't stop there. He delved deeper into the mysteries of the universe and formulated the universal law of gravitation. This law explained that every particle of matter in the universe attracts every other particle with a force that is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between their centers. In simpler terms, this law explains why apples fall from trees and why the planets orbit the sun. Newton's genius wasn't confined to the realm of physics and mathematics. He also made significant contributions to the field of optics. His experiments with light led to the development of the first practical reflecting telescope. He showed that white light is made up of a spectrum of colors, a discovery that laid the foundation for the field of spectroscopy. Newton's work didn't go unnoticed. He was knighted by Queen Anne in 1705, becoming Sir Isaac Newton. He was also elected President of the Royal Society, a position he held for 24 years until his death. But perhaps what sets Newton apart from many other scientists of his time was his ability to question the world around him and seek answers. He used his sharp intellect and curiosity to delve into the mysteries of the universe. He wasn't satisfied with just accepting the world as it was. He wanted to understand why it was the way it was. Newton once said, "I do not know what I may appear to the world, but to myself I seem to have been only like a boy playing on the seashore, and diverting myself in now and then, finding a smoother pebble or a prettier shell than ordinary, whilst the great ocean of truth lay all undiscovered before me." These words reflect Newton's insatiable curiosity and his constant quest for knowledge. Newton's work has had a profound impact on science and our understanding of the universe. His discoveries have shaped the course of scientific thought and have laid the groundwork for many scientific advancements. Even today, centuries after his death, Newton's work continues to influence the fields of physics, astronomy, and mathematics. So today, on December 29th, we celebrate the birth of Sir Isaac Newton, a man who looked at the world around him and sought to understand it, a man whose curiosity led to discoveries that have shaped our understanding of the universe, a man who wasn't afraid to question the status quo and seek answers. Truly, December 29th served as the birth date of a genius who would revolutionize our understanding of the universe. The 19th century ushers in a somber chapter in American history. Picture the year 1835. As winter set in, the air was thick, not just with frost, but also with tension. On December 29th of this year, a treaty was signed. Not an ordinary treaty, mind you, but one that would forever alter the course of a nation and its people. The Treaty of New Echota, a document that still echoes through time, was signed on this date. This treaty forced the Cherokee Nation to leave behind their ancestral lands, the fertile valleys and towering mountains they had called home for generations. The government of the United States, fueled by the insatiable hunger for expansion, had little regard for the rights and the dignity of the indigenous peoples. But what did this treaty mean for the Cherokees? In essence, it was a death sentence, a forced march westward that would come to be known as the Trail of Tears. Thousands of Cherokees, men, women, and children, embarked on this perilous journey, braving harsh weather, disease, and exhaustion. Many did not survive the ordeal, their spirits joining the countless others who had fallen victim to the relentless march of progress. Yet, in the face of such adversity, the Cherokees held on. They held on to their traditions, their language, their stories. They held on to their identity. And in doing so, they have left an indelible mark on the tapestry of American history. To truly understand the impact of this event, we turn to a voice from the Cherokee Nation itself. Meet Sarah, a descendant of the Cherokees who undertook the Trail of Tears. Sarah's family history is a tale of resilience and survival, a testament to the spirit of her people. Sarah tells us, "The memory of the Trail of Tears is a painful one. It's a wound that has never truly healed, but it's also a reminder of our strength. We've faced hardship, we've faced loss, but we've never lost ourselves. We carry the stories of our ancestors with us, their dreams, their hopes, their struggles, and in doing so, we honor their memory." Sarah's words ring with a powerful truth, a truth that is often overlooked in the grand narrative of history. The Cherokees and countless other indigenous peoples have faced unimaginable hardships, yet their spirit remains unbroken. Their stories continue to be told, their voices continue to be heard. As we reflect on the events of December 29, 1835, we are reminded of the darker chapters of our past. We are reminded of the injustices that have been perpetrated in the name of progress. But we are also reminded of the resilience of those who have been wronged. the Cherokees and all indigenous peoples serve as a poignant reminder of the power of survival, the power of resilience, and the power of memory. So, as we delve into the annals of history, let us not forget the voices that often go unheard. Let us not forget the stories that are often left untold. Let us remember the Cherokees, their struggle, their survival, and their enduring legacy. A poignant reminder of the struggles faced by indigenous peoples, December 29th marks a dark day in the annals of history. Finally, we land in the late 20th century, a time of radical global changes. The world was on the cusp of a new millennium, but before we could usher in the 21st century, there were some old scores to settle and some old orders to dismantle. December 29th, 1991, is etched in the annals of history as the day the world's largest country by landmass, the Soviet Union, officially ceased to exist. This monumental event marked more than just the dissolution of a superpower. It represented the end of the Cold War era, a period marked by political tension and proxy wars between the Soviet Union and the United States. The collapse of the Soviet Union was a seismic shift that sent shockwaves across the globe, reshaping the geopolitical landscape. 15 new countries emerged from the ashes of the Soviet Union, each with its own unique challenges and paths to navigate in the post-Soviet era. The world watched in awe as the Iron Curtain was lifted, revealing a landscape that had been shrouded in mystery and intrigue for decades. The collapse was not an overnight occurrence. It was the culmination of years of economic stagnation, political corruption, and growing civil unrest. The Chernobyl disaster of 1986 had also shaken the Soviet people's faith in their government, exposing the regime's shortcomings. But let's not forget the human side of this historical event. Imagine waking up one day to find that the country you once knew no longer exists. The red hammer and sickle flag lowered for the last time, replaced by the tricolor flag of the Russian Federation. The once omnipresent portraits of Lenin and Stalin now relics of a bygone era. To understand the magnitude of this event, let's hear from those who lived through it. One such individual is Mikhail, a former resident of Moscow. "I remember the uncertainty," he recalls. "We didn't know what the future held. It was a time of great change, but also great fear. We were stepping into the unknown." Then there's Natalia, who was just a teenager in Ukraine when the USSR collapsed. "It was confusing," she says. "Suddenly we were no longer Soviets, we were Ukrainians. Our identity changed overnight." These personal accounts provide a glimpse into the profound impact the collapse of the Soviet Union had on its people. It was a time of upheaval, of shifting identities, and of new beginnings. And yet, amidst the chaos and confusion, there was also hope. Hope for a future free from the shackles of communism. Hope for a world where the threat of nuclear war was no longer looming over our heads. Hope for the dawn of a new era. Today, nearly 3 decades later, the world continues to feel the ripples of this historic event. The post-Soviet space is still grappling with its legacy, seeking to forge its own path while confronting the ghosts of its past. So, as we look back on December 29th, 1991, we are reminded not just of the end of an era but also of the dawn of new geopolitical realities. It's a testament to the fact that history is not just about dates and events. It's about people, their struggles, their triumphs, and the indomitable spirit of humanity to adapt and overcome. Thus, December 29th stands as a symbol of the end of an era and the dawn of new geopolitical realities. From ancient clashes to modern milestones, December 29th has seen it all. We've traveled through time, uncovering the hidden gems that make this date so remarkable. We saw the Visigoths in 410 AD storming Rome and marking a turning point in the downfall of the Roman Empire. We stood alongside Viking King Harald Hardrada in 1066, as he met his untimely end in England. We celebrated the birth of Sir Isaac Newton in 1642, a man whose genius forever changed our understanding of the universe. We felt the pain of the Cherokee Nation in 1835, forced to abandon their ancestral lands and embark on the tragic Trail of Tears. And finally, we witnessed the dramatic collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991, ending the Cold War era and reshaping the world as we know it. But history isn't just about the past. It's a living, breathing entity that shapes our present and future. Each of these events, from the sack of Rome to the fall of the Soviet Union, has left an indelible mark on the world. They've shaped cultures, influenced ideologies, and continue to inspire us today. So what's your favorite December 29th historical tidbit? Was it the Visigoths' audacity, Newton's brilliance, or the resilience of the Cherokee Nation? Perhaps the fall of the Soviet Union resonated with you. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so don't forget to leave a comment below. And if you enjoyed this historical journey, be sure to hit that like button. Subscribe to our channel to keep up with future explorations into the annals of history. Share this video with your fellow history enthusiasts. Spread the historical love. Thanks for joining this historical journey. Stay curious and keep exploring the fascinating world of history.